All right. Thank you so much for another privilege to present to you another interesting topic that is key in WAEC writing, which is speech writing. But before I proceed in today's teaching, I would like to mention that if today is your first time of coming across this channel, please like my video, share it, and subscribe. Please subscribe. That is one of the best thing you can do for me. Then, having said that, if you are a prospective WAEC candidate, you want to write WAEC or NECO or JAMB, NAPTEP, or other placement examination, please, this channel is for you. View my video. I always present content about how to score or get A1 in WAEC English. And this one is another one on how to get A1 in WAEC English. Because in WAEC, no topic, no area or aspect is too small. Because to obtain A1 in WAEC, you need to know how to go about it. Now, one of the interesting topics that WAEC will ask you to write on or to write about is speech writing. Students used to have issues with speech because sometimes they misunderstand speech writing, thinking is debate. The difference between the two is just small, but that is not what I come to discuss today. But I want to show you how to write a speech. Hopefully, if you are still not yet clear, you can tell me to show vivid example of speech writing. I will outline it and show you. But today, I want to define speech, types of speech, why do we write speech, and format of writing speech. The only thing is there is no example of speech writing in today's teaching. Now, let's proceed. A speech involves giving a talk on an address to an audience. That means what is speech all about involves to give a talk or to address an audience. That means number one is to give a talk. Number two, to address. Speech, that means to define a speech, we say speech involves to give a talk. Or number two, address audience. That is what WAEC want to see you do. WAEC want to see, do you have ability to present a talk? Or do you have ability to address audience? So that is what WAEC want from you, to give a talk or to address an audience. So I believe I have defined speech writing. Speech writing is all about talk giving or to address an audience. What is an audience? Audience could be an assembly, it could be a congregation, or it could be a church or a mosque where we have at least from 20, 30 people, or even 10. That is an audience. So you are to present a speech. And a speech is written. Is written. So when it is written, you read out from your paper. But not 100% to read line by line. An individual is supposed to have master study and master it just to look and mention, just like a newscaster. That is what speech is all about. Now, quickly, let us go to the second aspect of it, which I say various occasions call for speech making. Yes, that means there are situations that calls for speech making. For example, maybe you want to send someone off. Maybe you want to give information about maybe latest thing in the town. Maybe we attend a wedding and we want to address certain issues. So there are different occasions that calls for speech making. Based on those occasions, it will now attract how the speech will be written. But all speech, anything called speech presentation, is always what? Written and is spoken. Just to buttress my point, for those that still have problem or issues between what is speech and debate, a debate is being judged, but speech is not judged. In a debate, you counter opinion of your opposition or your opponent. But in speech, it is not so. Speech is only given to audience, whether they like it or not, they accept. But in debate, you compete. So some people, while writing speech, they will come and start with panel of judges. My fellow, this one. Once you start it, it is not like that. It is no longer a speech. I'm going to make a video on debate, but take these two things or three that I have said. A speech is not judged, debate is judged. In a speech, you do not have those whom you are competing with, but in debate, you have those whom you are competing with. Now, the next is types of speech. There are more types of speech. You present speech for different purposes, special purpose, and so on. But I just brought and listed these basic three. Number one, we have speech to praise. What do I mean by speech to praise? Maybe if a student has done well, let's say prefect has done well, and there is a special event organized to honor them, a speech will be presented. So in such speech, we are to honor and praise a particular prefect or some prefects in school that have done well. Number two, we have speech to indict. What does it mean to indict? Indict means to condemn, to speak ill of something. Example, let's say there was a riot in your school which led to students destroying some school properties or and other related things. So maybe as a head prefect or a head girl or any position you occupy, and you are to address your fellow student, such speech presentation is called speech to indict, speech to condemn an act that was wrongly done. Then such kind of speech is called a speech to indict. So that is another type of speech. Lastly, we have speech to inform. When we are about to write a speech to inform, we are trying to say that there is a certain information or detail or something key that your audience need to know. For example, let's say iPhone just released a particular phone, maybe iPhone 20 Pro Max, and we are still struggling with iPhone 14. Then you are now telling your audience that there is a particular technology by so company, Apple, it has this, it has that. Or you are to write about a particular disease or sickness that is in vogue. Therefore, such kind of speech is to what? Inform. Having said that, why do we write speech? Or why do we give speech? Number one, to send someone off. That means in an organization, if someone has done well, or the person, let's say, or the person has gotten a better job, or the person want to migrate to another town, or he or she has been promoted, you need to leave that organization to another place to go ahead another branch. Therefore, we need to send the person off, send him forward to that place. So in such occasion, we do what? We write speech. Number two, or we give speech. Number two, to welcome someone into our midst, into our organization, into our place of work. Let's say we are to welcome a new principal, a new director, and so on. We give speech. In such speech, we will present the challenges we are facing. You tell him or her, oh, this place you are welcome. But these are the problem we are facing. We pray you should be able to take this or move this organization to the next level. So in this kind of a welcome speech, that is where we do it. Then why do we give speech again? We give a talk to an audience on a topic of interest. Yes, when we say topic of interest, we may decide to give speech on why, let's say, maybe Nigeria economy is maybe booming. That is a speech of interest or a topic of an interest. Or why is Nigeria economy regressing, going back, not doing well? So that could be a topic of an interest. Number four, we give a speech at wedding toast. Yes, when we attend wedding ceremony, we give speech. Such speech could be or always be to advise the couples on how to live and respect each other. Number five, we give a speech on a prize giving day. Yes, in school, maybe during third term when students has received all the total cumulative result to be promoted to another level, to another class, we normally give speech to encourage students, pupils to do more. So these are some of the reasons why, or basic reasons why we give speech. Lastly for today, we're going to look at the format of speech writing. If you are to score A1 in WAEC English, you need to know how to write speech. And this is the format. There is no other format that supersedes this one if you can master it. Because this is exactly what WAEC want, NECO or NAPTEP. Once you are able to give exactly something in these 8 steps that I have outlined here, you definitely will have what? A1. And if you need my help, please comment below. Say, English master, help me. Say, English master, help me. Mention the areas you are having challenges. Mention the topics you want me to work on. And other areas you need help. I will make sure I attend to you. And victory will be yours. Quickly, whatever type of speech you are required to write, one thing is clear. You have to show in your writing that you know how to address a live audience. That's why I underline it. A live audience. That means people are facing you one-on-one. So any kind of speech you are being asked to write by WAEC or NECO, they want you to show, to prove that you have skill, ability to address a live audience. Format number one, write the title of your speech. Yes, in the title of your speech, let's say you are to send somebody off. You say a speech presented, you mention your name, maybe by Amina Aminu. You mention date. That means a speech presented by Amina Aminu on 20th October 2024 in respect to send forth of maybe Mr. James Okeke, the maths teacher, in the school hall. So this is an example of how the title of your speech should look like. In your title, you mention a speech presented by who, to whom, on which day, in which place, or at which area. So, or at which event you mention it. Once you write it this way, only that title alone is a big mark. Number two, greet your audience present in order of importance. What do I mean here? The next thing is you greet your audience. You say maybe good morning everyone. You now greet them according to their hierarchy. In assumption, let's say you are presenting a speech in a place where the president of your country will be. The first person you are to greet is good morning, Mr. President. Maybe the next person, let's say the vice president is there, you greet vice president. Maybe the next person that is there, that in order of importance, is Minister of Education. You greet Minister of Education. Let's say after Minister of Education, the next person in order of importance is your school director. You greet your school director. After the school director, you'll be mentioning their names and their position, which is their designation. Maybe you mention the school director, Mr. maybe James Okeke. Maybe the next person after school director is the principal. You greet the principal. Then after the principal, your fellow teachers. After teachers, you greet prefect. After prefect, you greet all other audience, which are your co-classmate or schoolmate. You greet them. So this is the manner by which you should greet. You greet from up to down in order of what? Importance. So that is how your greeting should be in speech writing. Number 3, express delight at the opportunity given you to deliver your speech. That means you should say, thank you so much for the opportunity given to me to present today's speech. It is a pleasure. I'm highly honored. Who am I? Something like that. And out of thousands, you have been picked or chosen to give such speech or to present such speech. So you express gratitude. Number 4, add some humors, proverbs, quotations, rhetorical questions, idioms to enrich your speech. You can even add local slangs. So let me explain what is humor. In your speech, everywhere should not be as silent as a graveyard. Make people to laugh. Humor simply means laugh. Proverb, you give proverb. Like a proverb could be, if you do good, you do for yourself. You do bad, you do for yourself. Quotation, you quote what people have said. For example, Zig Ziglar once said that a fearful man died many times before his death. So that is quotation. Rhetorical question. What are rhetorical questions? Not require a reply or an answer. You give it, put it in your speech. Then idioms. You give idioms to enrich your speech. Local slangs. Give local slangs. What are local slangs? If you are used to watching Selena Tested, if you are in Nigeria, in Selena Tested, if they want to say someone has run away, they will say, in don tuama, in don tuama. So if Selena Tested want to say gone, they don't call it gone, they call it kala. That is what? Local slangs. So this is another thing you should add. Number 5, present both sides of an issue depending on the purpose of your speech. So based on the purpose of your speech, present both sides. Let people know what you are talking about. Maybe you are mentioning in your speech that early education is better than late education. Present why early education is better. Present why late is not better. So present both, not to only talk about early education is good, is good, is good. Present why the late one also is not good and give your reasons. So second to the last, thank your audience for listening. So you say thank you for listening patiently, thank you for giving me your attention, something of that nature. Can even pray for them. God bless you. Lastly, append your full name and designation / address. So your full name, let's say your name is James John. You mention your name, James John. After that, your designation. If you are head boy, you write head boy. If you are a sport prefect, you write sport prefect. Address may not necessarily be important, but address, you can write Zaria, Kaduna State, simple. Or you can write Zaria, or you can write Lagos, you can write Abuja. So that is how to end your speech. So thank you so much for watching. If you truly need my help, comment below say English master help me, and I'm going to make sure that I help you and you score A1 in WAEC English with the help and skill that you have gained in writing today's speech. So thank you so much. See you in my next video.